Hello, this is Team Pacife. Our project was created for Badgeometer. It is a feature created for Microsoft Access to assist Badgeometer employees as a way to better manage their device inventory, making it easier to order new devices when warranties expire. This feature assists in the appropriation of approximately $100,000 worth of equipment and would save 80 hours of labor every year it's in use.
Okay, and just as my partner Josh stated, we are working on a database for my company, Badger Meter, that I work for. And what we ended up doing to help them organize and get the data that they want every year for their computer upgrade is we created a query. So let me open that up. So we have the query here that we created with the different modules for it. So we have pretty much different tables that have different information in it. So one has computer model with the model manufacturing device type, computers that have the asset tags, the acquired date, the purchase price, the computer assignments with the computer ID, user ID, and date used, and the employee box with the user ID, logon name, first and last name, and they are all connected together. So, for example, if we were to take away the computer assignments that connects both computers and employees, then the employees wouldn't be able to work and wouldn't be able to know that, for example, if there was a computer named 123 to a user named John, the database won't be able to tell that the computer name 123 is assigned to John. And then what we have down here is we have it so the fields are organized. So we have the computer models, the warranty expiration dates for the computers ascending. So the dates that are the newest would be at the bottom, which is what the client wanted, and the logon name of the employee so they know who it was assigned to by their login name, since that's how it is ran. So then if we were to open it, it shows the entire data right there, which is the model, the manufacturer, the device type, if it's a desktop or tablet, and the logon name for each user. And then this field is blank because because we added the warranty expiration, and because that they haven't really added much until recently, which if we go to all the way down to the bottom, they started adding it. So they have the newest ones at the bottom right there. And then to be able to run this query and get the information, we created two macros. One we call test. So if we view the design, it is a email database object, which takes a query and the name, and it we choose the output of it. So they wanted it to be an Excel workbook, so we chose the Excel workbook. And then the email that they would want it to, this would be the managers, but I put mine. They can change this at any point. They don't have to change it here. They can also change it once we open the email, which I will show you shortly, and then the subject and the text message. And then we put that they can edit the message. Yes. So if we were to run said macro, it would right there open up my email, attach itself to the email, have the test, have the message, and then from right there they can change it to whatever they want, so they're not bounded by having to change the macro constantly. Then the second one, which we created, was the stop. It's just a simple stop all macros, so that way it doesn't continue running the same query. So if you click run, it does nothing because there's no macro running right now. So if I were to open and close it and open it back up, this is the menu for it. We also created a ribbon for the user. So right here, they'll just need to click the button and then click on the computer upgrade button. And because I still don't have it connected to the database, it won't really work right now. But right there, the thing, and then run it. And then we also added a feature for them so they can see. So if we scroll all the way to the bottom, since I created one, If we click on this, we added the warranty expiration. So then right there, it's always 3 years. So once they put the acquired date of when they received the system, they just need to add 3 years to that same date.
In order to test our service, we would run the macro, and then we looked at the results of the query, and we would go through and test to make sure that each of the entries had all the correct information so that the model number and the device type, the login name, and the warranty date all were correct. And we went through this for about an hour, the three of us. We have two pieces of documentation that accompany our service. First is training documentation we created. This is meant to allow our client to fully understand how to use our service and to be able to pass on this knowledge to others. It also acts as our user documentation. In the Agile method, user documentation acts as a place for the user to find information about your product. Due to the end user of our product also being our client, the documentation serves two purposes. I will now go through our documentation. So, first we have what it does. This macro will compile data into an Excel spreadsheet that includes model ID, model, manufacturer, device type, warranty expiration, and user for the computer. This Excel spreadsheet is added as an attachment to an email that will be sent to the manager. The manager can then manipulate the spreadsheet as needed. This can be used to determine which computers need to be replaced. Next section is about how to use it. Open Access and navigate to the ribbon at the top of the program. Click on the Computer Upgrade tab and hit Run Computer to run the macro. The macro will run and the following email will be generated. At this point, any information in the email can be changed or edited. In order to change the default email, please see the technical documentation or the proper staff members. This can be changed by editing the macro. Once you have completed using the query, navigate back to the Computer Upgrade ribbon. Click Stop to end the query. The second piece of documentation we have is our technical documentation. As per the Agile method, it is a bare bones document showing any future development team how our service is designed. I'll now go over that documentation. So, as you can see, it's bare bones. It goes over the query, showing the primary keys. It then shows how the macro is set up. And finally, it shows the stop macro. So any of these things can be edited in the future. The final thing we did in terms of training was our entire team had a Skype call with our client in which we went over how our product works and also made sure the client could use the product and they used it successfully.
Security. The feature that we added to Microsoft Access for Badgeometer doesn't add any additional security to the system. So the security I will be covering instead will be the already in place features that the company has in regards to sharing the information. So Badgeometer runs off of FTPS for their Access database. FTPS stands for File Transfer Protocol Secure. It adds encryption, client and server certificates, and passwords, making secure transfers of information while using the file transfer protocol. There is an active permissions setup within the company. For the database that we are adding this feature to, only the IT department has access to. In addition to that, only certain members of the IT department have access to this database. By limiting the amount of users who have access to the database, it is a more secure database, as human error is one of the greatest issues when it comes to security. In addition, there's a VPN used for whenever the database can be accessed while outside of the office. This VPN is also password protected, and it encourages work from home during the pandemic, which is safety feature not only for the business itself, but for the individuals who work there. And then we go into sustainability of the systems. So company support, nothing will really change in regards to the use of Access, as it's already an established database for the company. The feature we created is planned to be used annually when it comes to expired warranties as a way to save time and money for Badger Meter. Alex's supervisor, Carrie Wondrook, is going to be in charge of future management when it comes to the content of the system. And then Microsoft support deals with Access itself. According to Microsoft Office 2016, with Office 365 backend services are going to be supported until October of 2023. Microsoft continues to update all Office programs, including Access, on a regular basis through various software patches. As our target is a macro, there will be times in which it will need to be tested after updates to ensure that it continues to work properly. Microsoft has an admin on the business service side who will deal with the Microsoft software updates.